So welcome the students of class 6 and welcome to our social science geography class. And today in this class we are going to discuss another subunit from chapter number 7. Okay. And our today's topic, it is the physical divisions. The physical divisions of India. The physical divisions of India. Okay. So now I am drawing the map of India. Look at carefully. And from that map I will also mention all the different Okay, so this is our India, and in our India India is a subcontinent in which the different type of geographical variations we can find out, and it has a diversity of physical features such as the mountains, plateaus, plains, islands, deserts, etc. Coastline also. Okay. And in the north of India, standing as sentinels in the north are the lofty snow-capped mountain range named Himalaya. And the meaning of Himalaya is him means the ice or snow, and alay means it is the house. It is a Sanskrit word, so, and the meaning of is the house of snow, Himalaya. Okay, and the Himalayan mountain ranges also spreaded from here in this way. It is another part. So you can see that this mountain range, most of the part is situated in India's some states, northern states such as in Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory, as well as in Ladakh, in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and some part of West Bengal also, in northern portion of West Bengal. Now this Himalayan region also divided into three major parts. The northern portion, the topmost, all the peaks are there in the northern portion, and most of the part are situated in Tibet and in Nepal and Bhutan, and other parts also situated in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and Arunachal and Sikkim, and some part of so this region known as the Great Himalaya or Himadri, and world's highest peaks such as Mount Everest also situated here. Okay, Mount Everest also situated here, as well as the K2 or Godwin Austen. It is also situated in another mountain range. It is in Karakoram mountain range. It is the also highest peak. It is the second highest peak of the world, Godwin Austen or K2. And recently, of Sherpa from Nepal, they also reached the summit of K2, the first time in the world. It is a remarkable achievement of them. That first time successfully they achieved in the top of the K2. Thousands of mountaineers tried for several years but they failed, but finally they reached. Okay. And the third highest mountain peak, it is the Kanchenjunga, Mount Kanchenjunga. So Mount Kanchenjunga also situated in this place. Okay, it is the third highest peak of the world. So all the highest peaks also situated in the Himalayan region, and this region, topmost region, the northernmost region, is called the Himadri. Number 2, the middle portion or middle Himalaya, it is called Himachal, middle Himalaya. And in Himachal, many popular hill stations are situated. So you can find out the name of these hill stations from internet, from the books, and I'll okay. So these, some of these are like Manali, that the Darjeeling are there, the Srinagar are there, Leh. So all these things, all these mountain regions also situated, and beautiful the hill station situated on the Himachal mountain. Okay. And the number 3, it is the lower Himalaya or Shivalik. Lower Himalaya or Shivalik. It is the lower Himalaya or Shivalik. It is also situated in some part of Uttarakhand, and in Jammu region, and in Jammu and Kashmir, as well as in some part of West Bengal, and lower parts are in south of Arunachal. Okay. So these are the 3 major parts of Himalaya: the northernmost part, Himadri; middle Himalaya, Himachal; and Shivalik. So this is Himalaya. Now, except Himalaya, just below the Himalaya, there is a huge plain was there. Huge plain was there, and this plain known as Ganga Brahmaputra plain. Okay, so this plain is known as Ganga Brahmaputra plain. As well as another river that is called Indus or Sindhu, and Ganga and Brahmaputra, with all its tributaries and distributaries flown over this region and deposited huge amount of alluvial. Alluvial is a, you know, that finest soil, and the alluvial they deposited here for millions of years, and that's why the place emerged is a very fertile region in Indian subcontinent. And these river plains provided fertile land for cultivation, and that is the reason is high concentration of population in these plains. Okay, so Indus is a river just flown from this region through middle of the Pakistan, and it fall onto the fall on the Arabian Sea here. And another one, that is the Ganga from Gangotri, from Bay of Bengal, and Brahmaputra, it is from the Tibet through inside the Arunachal and Assam. It is entered in Bangladesh, merged with the distributary of Ganges Padda, and merged through the Bangladesh, in the middle of the Bangladesh. It's also fallen to the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so these 3 rivers created the huge, with their tributaries and distributaries, created this plain. Okay. So this is the northern plain. So this is the northern plain region. The middle portion. And now look at the western side of the India. In the western side, the great Indian desert is situated. It is the Thar desert, and the climate is dry, and it is very sandy and hot, and very little vegetation grown in this region. Okay, it is the Thar desert. You can see the westernmost side it is situated. Now look at the southern portion of India. The south of northern plains lies in the peninsular plateau. The peninsular plateau is this region is called the peninsular plateau. And this plateau region is an old plateau created by the volcanic eruption long ago, okay, billions of years ago, and this plateau was surrounded on both the side. Why it is called peninsular plateau? Because in the three sides is water. Okay, so it is a triangular shaped, and on the three sides it is surrounded by water. So that's why the landmass surrounded on the three sides with by water, it is called a peninsula. Remember, and Eastern Ghat mountain range, Western Ghat mountain ranges, and Eastern Ghats also the boundary of this plateau. So this is the Eastern Ghat, and this is Western Ghat. So except the Eastern and Western Ghat, lot of rivers also flown towards the both the sides and fall into the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Now another mountain range, which is the Aravalli range. So this is the Aravalli mountain range situated in the western India. It is a old fold mountain. Remember, old fold mountain. And in the middle of the India, another two mountains are there. This is Vindhya and Satpura. Vindhya and Satpura are the two mountains situated in the central Indian region, and you know that Satpura is the block mountain, and two rivers also flown on both the side of this mountain in the Graben area. You know that in a block mountain, it's a Horst and Graben. So this is the Horst, the Satpura and the Graben area, and this is the two different rivers flown. These are Narmada and Tapti, and these two rivers, these are the only two rivers that flown towards the Arabian Sea. So you know that this area is Arabian Sea, and this is Bay of Bengal, and this is the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka is there. So now, except these mountain ranges, the west and western, okay, so the two names are Western Ghats, also known it is as the Sahyadri mountain range, and the Eastern Ghat known as Malayadri. Okay, and this Deccan plateau situated in middle of this mountain range is rich with mineral resources like coal and iron ore, and it is also very good for cotton cultivation. And to the west of Western Ghat and the east of Eastern Ghat is the coastal plain situated. This region known as the coastal plains, and many major ports including Mumbai, Cochin, Mangalore, in that side, Mumbai, Mangalore, Cochin. Okay, so Panaji is there in Goa, and in Marmagaon. Okay, Goa in Marmagaon, and in Paradip in the Odisha in the west eastern side, that Visakhapatnam, Vizag, Chennai. So these are some important ports situated on the coastlines, and it is also a lot of beaches also there. And coastal plains are very narrow, and eastern coastal plains are much broader, and there are a number of east flowing rivers, and these rivers are the Mahanadi in Odisha, Godavari in Andhra Pradesh, Krishna and Kaveri from Tamil Nadu and this Karnataka region. Okay, so lot of rivers also flown towards the Bay of Bengal from these coastal plains, between these coastal plains, and these rivers have formed fertile deltas and their mouth. So these rivers also formed fertile deltas. What is delta? So delta is a triangular shaped land. Okay, and delta is a Greek letter. It is like that. So all these islands formed, it looks almost like the Greek delta letter. It is a letter in Greek alphabet. So Greek delta, so Greek letter, it looks like the delta. So that's why it is called a delta, and it's formed with the alluvial deposits deposited by the river in their estuary or mouth of the river when they merge into the any sea or ocean. The Sundarban Delta, this region, the Sundarban Delta, also situated in India and Bangladesh, both the countries, it is the largest delta of the world. Okay. So students, these are some important facts, and except this, the groups of islands also formed in another some part of the India. So I am having this portion and drawing that the islands. So these are Lakshadweep, and this is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So Lakshadweep, these are Lakshadweep, Amindivi, Minicoy and Lakshadweep. These are some big islands here, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And the capital is Port Blair, you know, and it is the Kavaratti is the capital. We have already told you. So, do you know in which group of islands were affected by the tsunami in 2004? There is a tsunami occurred at the time. In this tsunami, lot of islands also they suffered, and some of the islands also submerged in Andaman Nicobar Islands, and lot of people who living in the coastal regions of India, they also affected, their lives and property also affected because of this huge tsunami. So you can find out some information about this tsunami and from the newspapers and the other books. And tsunami is, what is tsunami? You have to know that tsunami is a huge sea wave generated due to an earthquake on the sea floor. And detail about the tsunami you will learn in class 7. Okay. So student, that's all from this chapter and our class. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I hope you have given all the students who have joined later given their attendance. So thank you everyone. I am signing off.